Heat 2 for the men in event number 5. Devil's Tail is set to begin here. Overall standings coming in is Jeff Adler, who remains on top of the overall leaderboard, as the top 3 men stay the same as they were going into the last event. He's got a 40-point cushion on Ricky Garrard. Dallin Pepper currently sits in 3rd. Top 3 men have started to separate. Brett Fikowski put himself in 4th place. He's moving up. And Chandler Smith rounding out the top 5. 2 movements here in Devil's Tail, Adrian.
That's right. It's known as a couplet. Devil's Tail is 3 rope climbs, 21 single-arm sear bell devil press with 100 pounds for these men. All those got to be done on one side. They're going to go 3 rope climbs again, then the opposite side for 21, and then a final 3 rope climbs across the finish line.
And we are underway. We start with those 3 rope climbs. You can see your lane assignments. Justin Medeiros in lane number 5. Got James Sprague there on the right side, your defending CrossFit Games champion.
That's right, Sprague, one of those athletes we got to keep our eye on anytime. That's, again, simple work as well as rope climbs. Now we'll see how the 100-pound sear bell treats him. We know that he was recovering from pneumonia on his way here. It was something that was kind of up in the air to get James Sprague here to throw down with these guys. He wasn't exactly sure until about 5 days before competition that he'd be making the trip. But here he is, and I like this couplet here and how he can perform.
Heinrich Happelainen on the left side. No surprise he's in the early lead here, one of the taller athletes in the field.
James chipping away at these sear bell single arm devil press. Again, from a standard perspective, folks, they got to keep their hand on the dumbbell throughout the movement. Chest has to touch the ground just like a burpee, and then they're going to jump and shrug and get that dumbbell right over their head every time. They're going to do 21 consecutive on one side, and that's really where we see a lot of the biggest challenge, is that they're used to maybe doing this movement by switching arms every repetition instead of 21 in a row on one side.
100 pounds on that sear bell, 45 kilos.
We talk
24 is the number they have to hit before they go back to the rope.
That's right. And we talk about pinning that sear, Sean, as one of the keys to success here, and you can hear it. It's like it's that sound, that ting every time they push that dumbbell right to the ground. They don't want to fight momentum. They want to actually use momentum and gravity to pin it to the ground right in the middle of their feet so they can go down and start the next rep.
Yeah, second straight year at the Rogue Invitational that the CrossFit athletes have used a sear bell. This is a nice little homage to the strongman events that we have going on as well. Usually a piece of equipment you see in that competition.
Yeah, it does have a great look to it. And I remember some of the feedback was it didn't feel a ton different than a normal dumbbell, but the way that you move it through space is different, not because of weight, but because of the shape. The fact that the weight is a little bit, the dumbbell in itself is longer. It changes the way that you got to swing it and drive it overhead, especially when you're making it travel such a distance that these athletes are.
Well, Sam Quant's putting a little pressure on Heinrich Happelainen, who's going to be the first man done, but Quant is right behind him along with Jona Koski as well. Koski there in the background, chalking up his hands, getting set for his second set of 3 rope climbs. There goes Quant back to the rope along with James Sprague. Justin Medeiros also done with his first set of Devil's Press. 7-minute time cap here, so we're almost halfway through the allotted time in this event. First of 2 heats for the men. Second of 3 events that they will face today. 9 total events throughout the weekend.
Yeah, we've got to always account for the work that these guys have already contributed to the points that they've been able to build up so far. It's not like they just took the floor fresh and ready to go and rip after this 100 miles an hour. They're really showing fitness through the course of all the events that they get to do.
Well, Happelainen maintains his lead now on the left hand for 21 reps. You got 1 rep in before Jona Koski started work, and here comes Justin Medeiros and Sam Quant in the blue. James Sprague joining them now on his way back to the dumbbell. 21 more reps here, 100 pounds, 45 kilos on the sear bell.
Starting to see some separation taking place here. The consistency from the midway point of each one of these sets, Sean, is what we're looking for. From the time of about 10 to 11 reps on that one side, that's where you're really wishing that you could switch to the other arm, but that's not an option. They got to continue to get back down to the ground and jump that weight overhead.
Haapalainen maintaining that 1 rep lead over Sam Quant, Jonakoski. Medeiros is 2 reps back. Sam Quant is trying to hold off James Sprague. Saxon Panchik working his way up as well. Now 2 minutes remaining before we hit the cap.
Haapalainen still with that slight edge over Medeiros and Koski that are kind of going back and forth. What we saw from the women was that 1 rep can add to quite a difference in separation, especially when we talk about getting up that rope and being able to be in control of the pace of this workout. And so that's where Henrik finds himself there to the left of your screen. Right now, he's in control, but Medeiros is coming.
48, that's the number that Haapalainen's looking to hit before he'll head back to the rope for the final time. He's got 3 remaining. There's Haapalainen. Koski with 4 remaining. Jonakoski 13th place overall, but coming off a 5th place finish in the prior event.
Medeiros just took a little bit of a longer break than I've seen him take throughout this entire workout. It looked like he was closing the gap on Koski.
Now Haapalainen back to the rope. 45 seconds to complete 3 reps and get himself across the finish line. Jonakoski's done as well. Now here comes Justin Medeiros. Haapalainen's got 1 rep remaining on the rope. Jake Crouch is done working his way back. He gets right to work. He's in that blue short sleeve shirt, middle of your screen. Haapalainen's done. He's got to hustle. And he will make it. Heinrich Haapalainen just sneaking in inside the 7-minute time cap. Have to wait for his official score, but it did look like he made it with a maybe second to spare. Either way, he didn't make it. So Heinrich Haapalainen did not make it. But he will be your event leader with 1 heat to go. So Haapalainen, oh, I thought he made it. Looking at the countdown, but it was close. A great effort from Heinrich Haapalainen. Pays to be tall sometimes.
It does pay to be tall, Sean. I mean, look, he executed at a very high level, and you talk about the advantage to his height. Hey, we don't throw the tall guys many bones in this sport, but he got 1 here, and he was first up the rope, and he executed a clean way. He was able to hold on to that pace, which was a blistering pace. What you noticed, even in his final rope climbs, that it took him several more attempts to get to the top or more pinches, and it slowed him just enough so he didn't get across his finish line in time. But Heat 1 winner, Henrik Haapalainen. Good feeling.
Getting the floor reset for heat number 2 as the athletes are making their way out onto the floor. Patrick Vellner currently sits in 6th place. He's the 2-time Rogue Invitational champion. He's got 255 points and has some ground to make up if he wants to work his way into the top 3.
Yeah, he's got some ground to make up, and he can do it here. He really can. We know that he's good historically at hinging, which means like deadlifting if you're not familiar with the term hinging. And what I mean by that is this movement, you're going to have to hinge at the hip and jump that dumbbell overhead. I like this coupled with the rope climb for Pat.
Here are your lane assignments for the 2nd and final heat. Pat Vellner will be in lane number 3, right next to Brent Fikowski. Someone will be watching as well on the rope climbs.
Yeah, we got to watch the professor closely anytime he takes the floor. He's always got something up his sleeve. Oh my, he's already up on his second climb. I mean, I know all these guys are. His transition was extremely fast.
Fikowski's already through 2. Sam Cornway is through 2 as well, and Pat Vellner.
Yeah.
Fikowski, Cornway, the first 2 men off. Hopper's there as well, and just about every man getting done with his 3 rope climbs onto the first set of 21 Devil's Press on the right arm. Brett Fikowski, 4th place overall, 260 points.
Now, we talked about this earlier in the last heat, and even with the women, it's hard to exchange the lead. What we've seen historically is if the athlete's leading after this 21, we haven't really seen any exchanges happen at the top. So we'll get a really good taste at how well and how confident they're moving that dumbbell once we hit about rep 15 or 16 on this single arm.
Ricky Garrard and Dallin Pepper towards the front here, along with Sam Cornway. But all these athletes separated by a rep or 2, so pretty even here in the opening portion of event number 5.
All these guys getting on the ground, getting that chest to the ground just like a burpee, jumping the dumbbell overhead. That's what's going to be categorized as this single arm devil press. Standards we're looking for is that their left arm in this set cannot touch their body or the dumbbell until it gets completely overhead. Then they're allowed to use that offhand if they choose to lower it or pin it to the ground.
Now Jeff Adler coming in first place overall, got a 40-point lead on Ricky Garrard, who sits in second. And Adler has never finished lower than 5th, and he has an event win under his belt in event number 3, Braveheart last night.
And although it doesn't look like it, I mean, this sear bell's 100 pounds, Sean. They're slinging it from the ground overhead as if it's nothing.
Well, Garrard has 2 reps left. Now Garrard is finished, and he's going to be the first man back to the rope, along with Jason Hopper. And Dallin Pepper, here comes Jeff Adler, so still neck and neck for first place. Adler's going to take a second to chalk up his hands. Here comes Fikowski getting to the rope. 6:59.22 seconds. So Hapalainen does get across officially, 6:59.22.
Nice. That's always a good feeling. I mean, hey, he knew he won the heat, but it's a great feeling to know that everyone else got time. Captain, you made it. You made it. You were the exception. Now, what I love about this, Sean, is that I mentioned, I was like, yo, by rep 15 or 16, we had an idea in previous heats. Well, this heat, we have no idea, and everyone's here fighting neck and neck on these rope climbs.
Well, Ricky Garrard and Jason Hopper done at the same time. Now here comes Adler. And Brett Fikowski just closing out his 3rd rope climb. Garrard getting right to work. 21 reps on the left side. Jason Hopper got hit with a no rep.
Yeah, and because, again, these reps take a long time. That's costly to get yourself a no rep here. That literally just docked about 3 seconds from you. You can't get those back.
3 minutes left before we hit that 7-minute time cap. Guimayeros at the top of your screen, starting his second and final set on the Devil's Press. All these reps, again, have to be completed with the left hand. Here comes Sam Cornway. Ricky Garrard with 14 reps to go. Guimayeros, 7th place overall coming in. Had a 2nd place finish in event 2 and a 3rd place finish in event 3. 3 straight finishes inside the top 10 for Guimayeros.
Great momentum for Guy coming off of finishes like that. That's what we want to see more of from Guy. Consistency. We know that he's got some outliers, home run ability. It's all about navigating, strengthening his weakness, which right now is his aerobic capacity in his engine. This is what we're looking at right now, Guy. We want to see you continue to move and not stop.
Ricky Garrard, Adler, Pepper, and Fikowski are all pretty even as Garrard's pace has slowed a little bit here. Wow. Fikowski into his final 7, Garrard into his final 7. Adler as well as in the last part of this set of 21. All of them have 6 remaining. This is going to be extremely close as we get to the rope, so get ready to watch another sprint to the finish here.
This is where they got to have that urgency. They understand they can gain advantage on each other. If they could just be faster to the ground. It's small things like go faster to the ground, fall down.
Well, Brent Fikowski took a little bit of a break. He's got a couple reps left, but he's right there on the lead pace along with Hopper, Garrard, and Adler, and Dallin Pepper. Hopper's going to be done first. Now here comes Garrard along with Dallin Pepper and Jeff Adler and Brent Fikowski. The 5 guys to the rope at the same time. Hopper's going to get up first.
Got to have clean rope ascents here. Less is more. Pinch and stand. Cover as much distance as you can and clean descend here. Brent's going to use no arms hardly. Clamp tight and drop.
51 is the number they need to hit, and Jason Hopper's on his 3rd and final ascent. He's in the middle in the all black, now left side, makes the touch. Hopper's off. Hopper's going to get himself across the finish line, and Jason Hopper picks up the event win in Devil's Tail. Now the battle for second. Garrard is off. Garrard's going to follow Adler over, so Adler got in ahead of him. Now here comes Fikowski and Pepper, so it was extremely tightly packed there. Adler's going to take second, 6:41.69. Garrard 4 seconds after him. Fikowski and Pepper all getting in ahead of Heinrich Happelainen, who will now have the 6th best time. Pat Vellner's going to get capped. But Jason Hopper needed that. He took 19th in the prior event. He knew he was going to do poorly in that. Bounces back here with an event win.
Called a shot, and you love to see it. He chatted with Kiki earlier, giving her the update. Hey, I'm gonna try to survive, and I'm trying to thrive a little bit later on. So, of course, we got event 6 looming, an unknown for all the participants. But man, what a finish there for Jason Hopper. Way to stay the course.
He had a couple guys breathing down his neck as he got to the rope for the final time, and he was the first man up on that final set of 3 and was able to hang on to that lead.
He executed at a high level, Sean, but look, I mean, this is what it's all about, being a top-level competitor, dealing with some adversity. Hey, you got to touch your chest to the ground. He didn't question it. He didn't let it affect him negatively. He stayed focused, showed the judge what he needed to see, and he continued, like I mentioned before, to stay the course, which in this event was extremely hard. High level of suffering going on here. These guys knew it was rep for rep. He knew it was going to be a race up the rope. Luckily, he had a buffer. He was the first one there. No reps the rest of the way. It was smooth sailing for Mr. Hopper.
And good situational awareness, looking around, making sure no one was going to chase him down. Jason Hopper gets his 5th career event win at the Rogue Invitational, and he is with Kiki Dixon.
Jason, we talked earlier today. You said, look, I'm going to try and survive event 4, and then I'm going to thrive on event number 5. How good does it feel to call your shot and execute?
It feels good. I was a little pissed about the log muscle-ups. I think my average over the last 3 years have been like 19th on that event, so I've been fuming in the back for the last 2 hours, so I'm glad I came out here and wiped that clean.
You had a battle going on there towards the end. How much more fun is it with that competitive nature and spirit when you have someone trying to chase you down?
Oh man, competition breeds success. I can't, like I said in the games last year, I can't do what I do without these guys pushing me to a next level. And these fans are amazing. I want to put on a show for y'all, so.
Event 4 was grip heavy. Event 5 seemed grippy as well. How's it holding up?
I don't feel anything. My grip is elite.
Oh, shoot. All right, well, we'll take care of that elite grip. Thank you so much, Jason Hopper.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Well, Jason Hopper mentioned his average finish in that log event was 19th, and he took 19th. His average finish at this event in total is 7th overall. He's finished 7th at the Rogue Invitational all 3 times he's been here, and right now coming into the event, he was 9th. That event win will probably move him closer to 7th. 6:39.53 seconds for Hopper. Jeff Adler with another top 5 finish, and Ricky Garrard is still right next to him. Those two have been attached this entire competition. Brent Fikowski picks up another top 5 finish. He takes 4th, and it's Dallin Pepper in 5th. Heinrich Happelainen, who won heat number 1, winds up in 6th place. We're more than halfway through the 2024 Rogue Invitational, and it has been a lot of fun. Jason Hopper goes from worst to first, calling his shot and picking up 100 points. We will take a break. When we return, action continues with the strong men and strong women. They're 2 events away from crowning a champ. Stay with us in Aberdeen, Scotland.